what does LGBTQ plus stands for?
Lesbian, gay, bisexual,
Transgender.
trans. I
Human.
is intersex. A is A has many things.
A is
So
asexual.
and then Q is queer.
Okay.
And then my mother said, "How did you know? Did you get yourself tested to figure out that you like men?" Somebody had told me, like straight people also don't get themselves tested; they just know it.
The good part about financial independence, there is data that proves, at least from America, that some of the wealthiest people are gay men.
Whoa!
That as a woman, I'm struggling, and then as a queer person, then I'm struggling as well. In a lot of ways, like you don't get that society to look at you a certain way um, because you're unmarried or whatever that society wants you to be. You're not that.
Welcome back to yet another episode of Unset Feeling with Shanky. I'm your host Shanky and the man behind this podcast. Today we are back at our favorite studio, the Taper Fox studio, which is in Indiranagar, Bangalore. So today's guests are very special. The topics that we covered in today's podcast that you are going to listen to are all around the LGBTQ community and this very special event happening for LGBTQ community in Bangalore, which is open to all, which is called Maya Bazaar. If you are someone sitting there and wants to know more about this LGBTQ community, this podcast is for you. Okay, so if you are scared or maybe tensed, a lot of questions going in your head about what exactly you need to do if you want to come out to people, to society, to your family, then keep watching because you are going to take a lot from this podcast. Okay, so hi guys.
Hi.
How are you? How you been, all of you?
Good?
Good?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, been good.
Been good?
A little nervous today, but good.
I'm so
I'm
excited
just
for
I'm just putting it out there.
I'm so excited for this one. I'm sure like once we start having a conversation, your nervousness would go down a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, we all love to
I'm
talk, so I think we are definitely going to get into our A game very soon in a
Good.
yeah, it
moment.
just takes maybe a little bit of like 2 minutes of
Should
loosening
we
up.
keep a timer for that?
No, no, no.
Oh,
Okay.
then it won't work.
You'll
Okay.
know very soon. We'll take over.
Okay, let's see that. Okay, so with that, let's start with a very basic question. Okay, I really want all of you to introduce yourself individually for everyone who's watching this podcast, okay, and listening to us right now. So we start with you.
With me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, my name is. I didn't want to do that. Hi, I'm Mujir Pasha. He, him. I'm a Bangalore boy. I was born and brought up here. What I do, I'm a filmmaker. I write, direct, and edit. I work across film, television, and digital medium. I also tell stories through dance and music. Maya Bazaar gives me the stage to do that.
Amazing.
I also direct and manage a music band called All Stars.
Wow.
And I identify as a queer Muslim feminist man.
Great.
That's
Amazing. Amazing. That was a bang on introduction. Okay.
Yeah.
I
How
think
do
the
you
stakes are
follow
higher now.
that?
The stakes are higher now. Go
I
for
don't
it.
know how to follow that introduction.
Come on, let's go.
I'm Kritika or Chris. It's important for me to say both those names because uh, Veena will say Kritika and Mujir may say Chris, or Mujir may say Kritika, and you never know what name comes up.
Okay.
So it's good to know both. Um, I've been friends with Veena for many years, and when Veena and Sanam talked about starting something like this, I joined them to help them on operations. Otherwise, myself, I was in advertising and then took a break, did a master's from Azim Premji University, now working in the development sector
Amazing.
and doing Maya Bazaar
My,
uh, on all days.
how was it to be a part of Maya Bazaar when you first started?
I mean, it was intense. Because it also felt like my event. So I didn't want things to go wrong. I wanted everything to go right. It felt like mine, you know?
Okay. My bazaar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Great. Coming to you.
Okay. My name is Veena. Um, what do I do? My pronouns are she, they, he is fine too. Still figuring it out. Um, it's important to note that I'm a 70s kid. So a lot of my references are from really long ago. So this is all a very new setup for me. I'm catching up. My team is pushing me into it, I think. But other than that, I'm a teacher. That's what I do for a living.
Right.
I've been a teacher for about uh, 24 years now.
What do you teach exactly?
I'm an English teacher.
Oh, amazing. I
Yeah,
think I can figure that out already.
I'm an English teacher. I teach adults. I teach grown-ups, not children. Children are difficult to teach. They teach me. Uh, so what else? I'm an entrepreneur. I run an organization which works in the DEI space. We're called Road to Utopia.
Right.
We work again a lot of education kind of work, but also some amount of um, talking about gender and sexual minorities, talking about religion, caste minorities at different places. Like our money comes from the corporates.
Right.
But otherwise, we do a lot of different work like that. One of our babies, of course, is Maya Bazaar.
My bazaar.
One of our very proud babies. Um, yes,
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
right.
So I
We
think we've been talking about Maya Bazaar. I think a lot of
yeah,
people do not know what exactly we are talking about here.
correct.
Okay.
If we
Someone.
can just
Sorry.
product
Yes.
place right
Yes.
here.
So if one of you can quickly give us
Hmm.
what Maya Bazaar is, like what exactly is Maya Bazaar?
I think we all have our own versions of Maya Bazaar,
Mhm.
Please, one
because
by
it
one.
comes from a place of experience. And for me, I think it came from a place of wanting to have a queer space, a space for all queers,
Mm.
where I could also take my non-queer friends to. Like my life is full of like all sorts of people, right?
Right.
And then there are spaces that a lot of like straight friends would not want to go to a queer event, right? I wanted like a space that took the label off it. And I think Maya Bazaar for me is a 2-day festival, right? And it's out in the open skies. That does something to you as a queer person, because a lot of events, most events are indoor, right? It's also because of safety, it's because of availability and how people would want to interact with a space.
Right.
I think Maya Bazaar does that. It takes the roof off and gives the sky,
Absolutely.
right? And then you have it's a hangout place for me, right? You go there, you shop, you eat, you drink, you have your friends there, and you play with them. You find people to date, and then there is stage, right?
Yeah.
Which entertains you, comforts you, and in the end, it kind of summarizes the whole experience of why you want and need a space like this.
Right.
So that is my Maya Bazaar.
For me also, Maya Bazaar is a 2-day festival.
At least that is common.
Yeah.
That is common,
For me
So, to put it very simply, from the place of telling people what Maya Bazaar is, for the people also, it's a 2-day marketplace. We started as a marketplace. Now we've turned into a festival. I tend to look at the camera because I feel like I need to talk to people and tell them what Maya
Please.
Bazaar is. But what it is that it's a 2-day festival. It's a marketplace of about 150 entrepreneurs. We have about 65, I think this time 65 artists that will be coming from across the
Wow.
country. Then what? Then we started off as from LGBTQIA to the world. But now, organically, we seem to have moved into from all marginalized communities to the world.
To the
So it's kind of yes, it does bridge a lot of gaps. But to tell people straight up out there, it's a 2-day festival.
right.
It's got dance music, lots of
Drag,
stalls. 150 stalls, like I said. So lots of businesses from across the country. So we have a place to shop, hang out, eat. We have lots of food kind of
Right.
things.
So I have attended my bazaar last year. So
Oh,
Oh yeah.
brilliant!
Oh,
I was a
nice.
part. Like basically, I had a
What
stall.
is
Oh my.
Maya Bazaar?
You tell us.
I'll tell you exactly. That
Is it a two-day festival to you?
it is not a 2 day festival for me at all. It is more than that to me. Okay,
Okay.
so I'll tell you what my personal experience was. First of all, I've never ever attended a queer event before my bazaar. Like at a personal level, I've seen my friends going in Bombay, but there was nothing in Bangalore to be very honest. Maybe I was not aware of.
Mm.
So I was a part of my bazaar as an ally, and I had my own stall there, like
Mm,
Oh,
a
wow.
business stall. Okay, again, like as you mentioned, 150 plus stalls.
yes.
Okay, so the first day when I came to Maya Bazaar, like I'm having goosebumps right now. So it was a very different experience. You know, when I'm outside, like apart from that area, like when I'm out in the world,
Mhm.
I always have something that people are judging me somewhere. Okay, people are judging me, people are judging me, people are. But as soon as you enter into that space of Maya Bazaar, I think everyone is your friend. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
everyone, like you can just randomly walk up to people and start talking to them, and they will always reciprocate in a most simplest, in the most beautiful way.
Yeah.
And I think that is one thing I tell all my straight friends as well, that this is one space that you all need to be a part of, because you get to learn so much.
Yeah.
Okay, me being, because for me again, I was a little nervous in a way that okay, I should not say this, I should not say that. But when I was in the space, I did not even bother about this, because people around me made me feel comfortable about it.
Yeah.
So my bazaar, for me, to be honest, it's not just 2 day events. I know Sanam, it's been a year. Okay, she's right here. Okay, so it's
ये
not,
रुलाने वाला है मेरे
it is
को.
more than that to me. It is more than just a 2 day festival for me.
That's very cool that you
Yeah.
say that. It does.
Yeah.
It makes. I think it makes us feel very very validated.
And
Thank you.
I'm so happy and so proud of you guys sitting here, because you've started something that the society really wanted.
Yeah.
We all wanted something like this. And hats off, because I know, because being growing up in Calcutta, being in Bangalore, being in Dehradun, I've seen the society from my eyes, and it has been a little hard when they look at things the other way.
Yeah.
It takes a lot for someone to come up and start a, you say, community and event like this. So hats off to you, all of you, for doing this.
रो मत आप.
Okay, Sanam is behind the camera. Okay, she's sitting there.
I have a different feeling about like just taking all the credit for creating a space. I think we're a part of the queer movement. There have been like so many other spaces that people have like worked hard and built, and that has
Before
paved way
us.
before
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
And I think that has paved way and given us that confidence and that joy that we could also create something. And I think the last four events have kind of proved to us that what we set out to do was to create a space and bring in a lot of joy, and it is the people who bring that in.
Absolutely.
And of course, it's not a 2 day event. I work like 45 days on that, right? And then the end of it, when you see this happening, and then people come. I think for me, the best part about Maya Bazaar is end of second day, everything is over. People come to you, hug and cry,
Yeah.
and they say it's over. It was some kind of like a utopic space, and then you're like, should I, like, you also want to cry, but you're like, I need to hold space for somebody right now, right? And I think that's the, I think there's some kind of a payback uh, that that you sort of get out of a festival.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounding like
Now, on the same lines, say someone who has never attended Maya Bazaar. Okay, say tomorrow they want to be at the event. Okay. First of all, I want you to help all of us with when is the event happening, and what are the things that someone can really be a part of when they come to Mayavada. What are the things they can find at Mayavada, like the different kind of businesses as you mentioned. So what are more performances, if you can give us a little
Hints.
hints on what is
Who
happening
is
at
going to
Mayavada.
perform?
Performance we talk. I think why don't we just start from the gate?
Yeah.
Like what
so
it does. Yeah.
our dates for this year are 28th and 9th.
28th and 29th.
29th of
That's what, 28th and 29th
Of
September
September. Yes.
2024.
Take
Yes.
it once more, no, so that it's registered
28th and 29th September 2024 is Maya Bazaar this year.
Happening at
Yeah,
Jahamel Palace.
happening at Jai Mahal Palace, which is near Cantonment Railway Station. Not the palace grounds, Jai
Yes.
Mahal Palace grounds.
Right.
We've had that at the gate where a lot of people have called and gotten confused and gone to palace grounds. Don't go to palace grounds. Yeah, at the gate.
Yeah.
What do we have at the gate? We have a ticket counter.
Yeah, you buy the ticket, you
You
come
buy the
in.
ticket, you come
You'll
in.
see a big do's and don'ts board that tells you what is a nice, like, what's a nice way to behave in Maya Bazaar. Then you walk in. There are about 150 stalls. So when we say stalls, we mean everything from handicrafts to jewelry to tattoo studios to your clothes, fashion. What else?
Children's clothes.
Children's clothes.
Lots
Yes.
of brands
There is
last year.
some music kind of instruments.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Food,
of
like a lot of food, as in not just like the live food counters, but like different kinds of
packaged
packaged
food.
food.
yeah, honey and
There's honey, poddies,
bodies. Yeah.
uh,
Then
and
what
so
else?
many things.
Yeah.
And I want to mention
Candles
one
and-
thing.
Clothes,
You
candles,
yes.
and art.
yes.
And
One thing.
Shanky's business.
Shanky's business. And you won't believe. So I think last time, Sanam, if I'm not, I called you right for booking this stall. The first question I asked Sanam, Sanam, is there alcohol? She's like, yes. Why? I'm like, no. I think a lot of people would be interested to come to the event if there's alcohol as well. So I'm like,
Yes.
she's like, yeah, there's alcohol. So yeah, don't forget, guys, there's alcohol as well.
Okay.
Yeah, there is alcohol.
And along with that, I think there's a lot of performances that are happening.
Yes.
If you can
Right.
give us a little.
Right.
Yeah. That
That's-
from that time we're asking. He's
Masala.
acting like he's.
So Mujir is our head of stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Mujir, please
we
go for it.
trust in Mujir to handle the whole thing end to end.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you, guys. So this is called Maya Manch, the stage, right? The whole idea was to create a stage for primarily for queer artists, who are often told, let's say myself, right? You're often told that your art is queer, your art is for yourself, it's just an expression, it is probably for queer people, right? And then, of course, a lot of other spaces have given the stage to a lot of queer artists and have done tremendous work and continue to do that. We wanted to be a part of that movement and wanted to create a stage where an artist would feel that a queer artist would feel their art is for everyone, right?
Right.
At Maya Bazaar, what happens is, like, I'm on stage a lot of times, I'm looking at people, you can't tell who's queer and who's not,
Right.
right? And I think that's exactly what an artist gets. And so we try and bring in queerness through performance, through art, and through music and dance and drama and drag.
Right.
Right.
Oh yeah, drag,
Drag,
shows.
yeah.
I love it. Oh my god, I
So,
love it.
so this year again, we do have. We have some favorites coming back. We'll wait for those announcements. And yeah, we're going to have group dances. There's a joy of seeing people dance together, right? And then we have bands. We have solo singers. We have like singers going from soulful singing to rapping, right?
Beatboxing.
Beatboxing.
Amazing.
And we also have a special program this year. We're doing a Maya Bazar musical.
Oh, okay, what is that? What is that? What is that?
Yay!
That is
Drum
a
roll.
piece that Mujir has written and is directing and is going to be presented for first time ever for the world on 28th
Maya
and
Bazaar
29th
stage, yes.
Maya Bazaar
Yeah,
stage.
one of
Which
those
is
days.
called Maya Manch. Yay!
So the musical is called The Baja Company.
Again,
Okay.
drum
No.
roll, please.
Yeah, it just goes with the title also. So we're calling it the Baja Company. It's about a music troupe that sings together, tells stories, works together, lives together, and it's some sort of a, a chosen family that they are, right? And it is headed by this person that everybody calls Didi. Um, and everything is happy and joyful and all of that in this world until two boys in her troupe who are in love with each other, they want to leave the troupe and go out and start something of their own.
Wow.
And
Da,
this
da,
brings
That's all.
yeah, yeah,
For the
I'll
rest
stop
of the
there.
story, you have to buy a ticket and come.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also with regards to when you mentioned tickets, so where can someone who wants to buy the tickets, where can they find it?
Allevents.in.
Allevents.in. It's already up there. You can access it.
And right now, phase one tickets are out, so that's going to stop very soon. So you'd better go and buy it. This is the cheapest
And
it's
we'll
going
make
to be.
Shanky put it in the
Yeah.
I will do that. I'll attach the link. The link will be there in the description.
So
Don't
this,
worry
this
about
is
it.
where we, so this is like right down there.
Oh
Right
my
down
God.
there.
technology.
Yeah, and also tickets are available at the venue as well.
Yeah,
You
of
know,
Yeah.
course.
at the
That
gate.
that
Yes,
will never stop.
yes.
So
Yeah.
So
if you feel like you couldn't do it now, just walk in and buy your tickets.
So, as you're talking about this, I also want to know, like, you mentioned that Maya Bazaar is a safe space. So,
Yeah.
if you can elaborate on that.
So so like I was telling you like 5 minutes ago, um, when we did, okay, the one thing is to call it a safe space. Another thing is to actually make sure that this space is safe. Um, and it's always a chicken and an egg story, right? In a way, I have to declare a safe space in order for people to know that it's a safe space and behave like it is a safe space for everyone. I find that to be it's important for because we are bringing our vulnerabilities. A lot of our friends uh, who don't get to live their realities or their identities back at home,
Absolutely.
they come there, they change, they present differently, and uh, they feel safe to do so. They feel proud to be the way that they are, and it and that is important for the space.
For this
It's
whole
it's
space, yeah.
important for the whole bazaar, because that's where the vibe comes from. I'm talking like I've engineered this. I am not. It's something that because we hold these concepts dear or these ideas dear, is why. So like I was telling you, when we did it, when so our second Maya Bazaar was in Shimla, which is the one that we don't talk too much about because we bombed pretty badly there, money wise. Uh, but otherwise, we had a lot of firsts that happened there. And one of the things was when we went there in the Mall Road on Shimla, what happens is a lot of festivals happen at Mall Road.
Okay.
And a lot of people told us, why don't you do it at Mall Road, right? Because people are walking through and they can just, the bazaar is there, people will walk
Yeah.
through. We cannot have that happen. We need you to plan your visit, because I want you to come there with a certain mindset. I mean, it's all right for you to come completely open minded with no idea of what you're walking into, but I don't want you to just walk through anything and walk through
Walk
Maya
through.
Bazaar as
Yes.
well, walk across Maya
Right.
Bazaar without knowing. So that is needed. And for me, that makes that's one level of safety that I add to these 400 people that I'm holding inside of that space, where I'm saying, for who I'm declaring it a safe space, not so much
Right.
for the outsiders, for the people inside. I'm saying, you come here, you be who you want to be, I got you.
Right.
Because that's pretty much what we're saying. We're saying, you come here, and when I say I got you, I mean all of us.
All of us.
And I don't mean the team. I mean the whole of us, all of us who are there.
Right.
Right? And I'm not even meaning our core team of about what 8 to 10 people we are now. I'm not even meaning them. I'm meaning the whole of Maya Bazaar. We all really watch out for each other, and that's that. And I think this is because it's open to the rest of the world. And again, it's open to anyone and everyone. We've had people who've come, thinking, oh, something is happening in Jaimal
Yeah.
Palace,
Yeah.
and they've
Yeah.
walked in, and they've walked out eyes wide open with a
Wow.
big smile on their face. And I'm talking about older people, I'm talking about kids, right? um what 12-year-old kids also have come, like teenagers who come there with their folks, with their families, and felt completely accepted. Older women, older they sing along to some of our songs by now. We play some originals at my bazaar, so they sing along to a lot of our songs right now, and that's what it is. Even for them, it's a safe
It is a
space.
safe space for them.
Even for everyone who's in there, that's my declaration, that I'll try and keep it as safe as I can. Let's all try and keep it as safe as we can.
So
What I can do is, like I said, the reason we get the ticket, the reason we have a paid ticketing also is because we have control on who comes in.
right,
More like we have control on who we can not, who we can throw out perhaps.
absolutely.
Yeah, because that is important for me. That 400 people who are in there, they are my people, and I don't want anyone um, to in any way harm them.
So he said that uh, this is the place where I can dress up like this. Okay, outside I've been very scared. So if you can see it on my face, I'm smiling. Okay, it is not, and he has come alone. There are no friends with him.
Yeah.
He has come alone. He's dressed up beautifully. He was like sitting next to me. We were doing the face painting together, and he was saying that this is the place for me. Okay, I know after 2 days when I go out, I have to be the same person again. I have to be the person that the society wants me to be.
Yeah.
But when I'm here, these 2 days, you can just see the smile on my face.
Yeah.
And I think that is again what makes you happy. Like when you listen to such things and when you see that people are so happy being in being in
Yeah.
a space like that,
Yeah.
it just fills your heart with joy.
Yeah, yeah, all of it together, man. It's definitely a beautiful experience. I'm not the one to. I'm very cringy otherwise. I feel.
So with that, okay, now coming down to few things that we are going to discuss now, okay, which is with regards to the whole community, okay, that someone I know, I personally know that there are a lot of friends of mine who wants to come out, but there is something stopping them. Okay, maybe it could be anything, like it could be the family, it could be just fear of missing out once you come out, it could be maybe the pressure from someone they're dating, not dating. So I want to the topics that we are going to discuss further now, it's all about them, for those people who are like waiting there listening to this for with a hope, okay, that there's something that I can get out of this. Okay, starting with the very simple and easy question for people who are watching who are not from the community and also wants to learn a lot from about this community, with an easy question, that what does LGBTQ plus stands for?
You both looked at me.
Mm.
Uh, it's lesbian, bisexual, gay, no, sorry, G.
LGBT.
Lesbian,
LG.
gay, bisexual,
Transgender.
trans. I
Human.
is intersex. A is A has many things.
A is
So
asexual.
A is asexual,
It's
agender.
asexual.
There's nowadays it's
Agender.
is yeah. So and then Q is queer.
Okay.
Historically, queer was a derogatory word for people who were identifying as homosexual, or it was used in a way of saying, "Oh, that's weird."
Oh, okay.
So queer was reclaimed by the community as a positive word.
Right.
So you may hear a lot of people saying, "I'm queer," because I guess over the years, gender and sexuality, we have all come to learn that it's not a binary, it's a spectrum.
Right.
And queer allows you to be in that spectrum, you know.
Right.
So people usually, in my circle, in my experience, like to use queer because it feels a little more like you can move between things.
Between things. And what does that plus in the end stands for?
Plus is for many other terminologies that have come.
Like, could you just mention a few of them?
Demisexual,
Psychosexual.
Can you explain a few of
Psychosexual.
these, like,
Poly.
so that all of us know what?
Poly.
Poly. Yeah,
Poly is
poly. Yeah,
queer.
you can say poly is queer.
Actually, demisexual is, it doesn't necessarily mean it's just for queer people, actually. Demisexual is someone who will only have a physical relationship with somebody if they have emotional feelings.
Got it.
No, I think if they're intellectually
I don't know now.
one of the
I
two.
mean, I think Honestly, there are too many.
Mm.
I can send you a link.
The
The link will be here.
link will be here again.
Yeah, definitely. I think, no, you're right. It's important to talk about the plus.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I don't feel equipped enough to tell you the plus.
Right. But if you have any, like, Veena, you were mentioning about few things. Like, if you can explain us one or two things in the plus category.
Yeah.
So plus would mean, say, for instance, gender
Let me
fluid.
Google it.
Okay.
Someone who, so now here's the thing, right? When we say trans, so there's sexuality and then there's gender. They're two different things. So when we talk about LNG, which is lesbian, a woman who likes women, or a gay, a man who likes a man, that's sexuality. That's who we love.
Right.
Um, Gender is gender identity, how you want to present, how you want to be looked at by the world. I could be born in a female body, or I could be assigned a female at birth. But which means that the doctor saw me and they said, "Oh, this child is a girl."
Got
Right. So as I grew up, I realized, well, girl doesn't completely fit how I feel. um, and as you grow up, you realize that, okay, boy also doesn't completely fit how I feel.
it. Right.
So one is, of course, you don't feel like a girl. You feel like, oh, I woke up. I mean, I'm not feeling like a girl. I want to feel. I feel like a boy. But again, that is a spectrum as well. So in that spectrum comes gender fluidity, non-binariness. So when we say gender fluidity, it means that my gender expression is fluid. How I feel inside is fluid, in the sense I don't feel very typically male or female or masculine or feminine. Um, so today I might, for instance, again, because gender is not in the binary, so that in that spectrum
Okay.
for all of these.
All of them.
So the plus actually means anyone else under that umbrella of marginalized gender and sexuality. So there's something else called non-binariness, which also in a way means I'm non-binary.
Okay.
So the binary is male female, non-binary is
None of them.
all in between,
Right.
or none of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you Google it, you may not find that many answers to plus. That's because the plus is designed as an opening to keep adding on. You know.
Basically,
But there are a lot of, yeah.
No, there
if you
are.
Google, yes,
Of course, there are a lot,
of
but the original intention or my understanding of it is that it allows for expansion. It doesn't just end at LGBT.
yes.
right,
You
right,
know,
right,
it's
right.
there is a lot more.
It's very inclusive, you mean to say.
Yeah. So for me, the plus shows that it includes
A lot
things,
more
A
people.
lot more.
a lot more people and things that have maybe not still talked
Talked
about,
about or not discovered, or
Not-
something
yeah.
that we don't know of.
or
Like-
we don't know. Like,
At
see,
this
we
It's
are,
moment,
basically an
yeah.
open
we are in
mind. That
Bangalore.
plus is
Yeah.
an open mind that
Yeah.
whosoever wants to be a part,
Yeah.
however you look at it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can be in that.
Yeah.
Yes.
In a certain sense, yeah.
Also to say that I think you will have a community. Like that's what it
Yeah.
means. Like let's say a lot of identities are also like people are coming to terms with who they are. Like with less restrictions, with less limitation, with more love and community, you sort of you arrive at who you could actually, like you want to pin and say, this is me, right? And then that could take a lot of time. That would also, like right now, maybe there are no words to sort of say it. At some point, you'll find vocabulary for that. I think plus just symbolizes that, this you will still have a community. I think
Yeah.
that's what it
Right.
means.
Now, moving forward, say anyone who is again watching this podcast and someone who wants to really come out. So, if you all of you like give me two points of what are the few things that they can really do, because again, end of the day, I really want someone who is waiting there with a hope that okay, there's something I can take away from this. Those 2 points each.
I will say about maybe safety because um, recently somebody asked me also like do these things not happen to straight people? Yes, there are straight people who are in violent situations as well, but for us, uh, I feel the violence is very specific because also for me in my experience that you are completely different. So it's not like you can be corrected or fixed. So I think if you're coming out and you are in a family that is not accepting and violent, uh, don't do anything drastic. Please try to see if there is an NGO nearby. There always will be
A
somebody
community
who can.
nearby who can you can be a part of,
Yes.
basically.
So be slow. Yeah, I know it's very frustrating if, especially if you're in a small town and you want to leave, but just be a little patient because we don't, I mean, a lot of stories that we hear is that they get hurt by the time they reach Bangalore. So it's not 100% unavoidable, but I think that would be something I'd say, like, be a little patient, be a little slow, reach out to an organization that's nearby so that you can know your steps, especially if you're a minor,
Right.
especially. Yeah,
Yeah, stay safe. That's very, very important.
yeah.
So 2 points from you.
I don't know if I have anything to say to anybody who's wanting to come out, but I think, like in my personal experience, I feel like coming out is such a milestone in a queer person's journey. Like somehow because of the narrative out there that you hear from older queer folks, right? That at some point when you sort of come out to yourself, you're like, and then you have to come out to the world. Like it feels like there's pressure to come out. Sometimes I feel it can wait. Like, you don't really have to come out and tell everyone that, you know what, this is who I am. Um, while, and I think it happens, like opportunity presents itself. And then there are times where you're not prepared, you don't know I'm going to come out to this person, but it happens and then you take that chance. But for you to take that chance, you prepare, right? Prepare by building your own community, building your own set of friends, saying, if this happens, who am I going to reach out to? Right? And also to hear stories from other people, how they have come out. It helps. I think when I was like when I think there's a time where I had to come out to my mom, right? And she asked me questions about this, but this is not natural and this and that. I was nervous and I didn't know how to deal with what was going.
How old were you that time?
27, 28, I
Right.
think. I'm 34 now. Like I think like my body was reacting a certain way, but I knew what to say because I'd heard these stories from other people. They said when somebody says it's not natural, or and then my mother said, how did you know? Did you get yourself tested to figure out that you like men? Somebody had told me, like straight people also don't get themselves tested. They just know it, right? I was able to present an answer because I knew this is like I had heard this. So I think it's important to hear stories of how other people have come out to their parents at workspaces, to their friends, and then keep it. Like just make like a bank of these like
Stories.
stories, right? And when opportunity, and then you wait for the time, and it happens, and the opportunity presents itself, and then I mean, you sort of deal with your body the way maybe after that, call friends
Right.
and all of
Right.
that. But in that moment, I think sexuality, gender, or like who you are is so strong. It's like a storm. It just takes you along. I think you just have to trust yourself. Of course, safety and all of that aside, I'm also coming from very personal experience. Uh, yeah, just talk and know and like build your safe spaces, build your support system.
And I asked this question to a few of my friends again. So they mentioned one very important point was you have to be financially independent.
Yes.
In a way where, say, example, today if you come out to your family and say family just says, okay, just get out of the house. What are you going to do next? So you have to be financially independent, very strong. That even if you are alone, you can still be out there.
But it's like for me, it's also important to recognize that not everyone can also be financially independent
Exactly.
because, especially if they're from backgrounds where they may not have an education. Let's say if they're in a very orthodox family, as an example, they may not have an education, or
Right.
if they are come to Bangalore, how do you get a job?
Right.
So I think definitely financial independence is something that I would also say, but also keeping in mind that NGOs and the social impact sector that works for gender and sexual minorities are very important for this coming out ecosystem, I feel. Like, I think even we met because of an NGO
In a
in a
community.
certain sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
NGO community, like, that's how we met each other.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I thought we all would have thought that we're the only ones in the world.
Also, to add to that, I think even when you're financially stable, coming out is difficult.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you've been living with this truth of yours, and then now you have to give that truth out to people. It's difficult, and you've rejected yourself in your head 100 times, so it takes time. It takes
takes
time,
time.
even with the easiest, like even when you have people who are easy to take you in and accept, it is a difficult process. And it eases in, I think, with time. That's what it does.
So the other point, I mean, the good part about financial independence, there is data that proves, at least from America, that some of the wealthiest people are gay men.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I mean we're laughing.
Okay, now
But
some of the wealthiest people are gay men, some of the wealthiest people are Indian men. I don't know what's going on here.
no, I mean, to keep that aside, that is the reason, because I remember, like, a lot of older people actually tell you the first thing, what kind of job do you have? Like, how much money are you saving? Are you, like, whatever? Because the idea is that when you are financially independent, nobody can do anything to you.
Yes, exactly. That's the
Especially
whole
if you're
point. Yeah.
above 18, you're in the law, you are a adult person, your family can't come and harm you. And
You're
if
not a criminal anymore.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're not a criminal. And you, because with that financial independence, you could get a home, you whatever, right? Like, you are keeping yourself safe. So a lot of that data
Go to America. With that
go to
money.
America, but also a lot of that data is because of this. I remember reading this article where they also talked about it. These men were from smaller towns in America, and
Then
for
they
them also they saw it as, if I make money, nobody can touch me.
touch me.
Once you come out, it's like almost you've been given a superpower or something.
Right.
Right? It's like handed to you.
Right. Right.
There's such a big part of you that comes out. There's such a big part of you that acceptance of yourself um, outside of the world. That's a very strong acceptance of yourself, which means that you're a very, very strong individual. And once that hurdle is crossed,
Crossed, I think you will be able to just
that
Yeah.
you see the
do the
careers.
maximum.
I'm telling you, see the careers of some queer people who are out there, who are living an out and proud life. Look at their career trajectory. It's coming out and then whoop, because
There's no stopping
there's no
them.
stopping you. And that's what when your friend was talking about as it being in Maya Bazaar, and when I say letting go of those privileges, imagine a man not caring about his masculinity,
Hmm. I know what you're talking.
right? And not what happens with that not caring of masculinity comes that fear of not losing it.
Not losing it. When you
Imagine
have
that
nothing to
freedom.
lose, there is nothing.
There is nothing to
Yes.
Yeah.
lose.
Yes, there's nothing. To
Right? And that just catapults you. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I tried so hard not to.
It's
say
fine.
that.
You can do all.
We're all
sorts of
adults.
Okay, so with that, like, again, all three of you, I wanted to know, like, all of us wanted to know some personal experiences from your life individually. Like, what are the major issues you have faced so far?
I think just like adding to what Veena said about not lucky but privilege, right? Is that I think growing up, I thought I was the only person who was weird, right? And I come from a Muslim family, right? And I live in a Muslim mohalla where it's like at every turn there is a mosque that reminding you of who you should be. And I just grew up not wanting to be gay. Like I would just wake up and pray that don't make me gay, don't make me gay. And then
You knew the word?
I knew the word homosexual,
Okay.
right? I didn't know the word gay until I think I got on the internet.
Okay.
Right, and
So-
and
so
then
you-
I'd heard of the word and I didn't know what was the difference. Then I just like went looking for somebody who called themselves gay. Like I wanted to meet them and ask them, how's this different, right? And my entry into queer spaces was by this friend who took me into the community right on the first meeting. So I got lucky like that.
Oh,
right?
you got lucky.
I got lucky. Not, yeah, okay. Ugh. But yeah, I think now I'm glad that my wish was not taken and I was not turned back into non-gay, right? Because I think I discovered so much about like what it does is it's also you discover who you can be, right? First though you're just like trying to deny who you are and trying
Now
to
who
like
you
not
can
be
be.
who you could be and who like your own truth is like the scariest thing, all that, right? And then when you start discovering, then the fear and the weight of things like sort of is taken.
Like Veena mentioned, like you
Yeah.
get wings to fly.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
literally. Yeah, quite literally, it does that, like when you've just been like repressing yourself. And I think this is what happens when you're closeted for a long time. That's why the spring happens, is because
Yeah.
you press yourself down so
and
much and so
suddenly
much and
when
so much. And then when you just like take the lid off, you're like,
you just
woof.
fly.
And then you're flying, and then there's no stopping. And then you just realize this is like, it's like once you see it, you can't unsee
Unsee
it.
it, yeah.
The joy of having friends and having community and to be able uh, to know that there is more to you as a person, right? I think for me, my queer journey and also my filmmaking journey happened at the same time. I
Wow.
was like researching and meeting people to make a film, and then learning about queerness, about their lifestyles, and making films, and taking that back and seeing, what they're like so happy, and then they're like so proud of themselves. I remember like my first queer event was Bangalore Queer Film Festival,
Oh, okay.
right? This is 2024, like 11 years ago. I went, like a friend took me there, and they just walked in, and like a bunch of people happily being who they are, right? I got scared, and I held my friend's hand. I was like, "Chalo, let's go. I don't want to go in." And I was there, and then they were like, there was the stage performance. There's something, they're like Pink Divas performance, right? And they were dancing. They're like boys who were wearing heels and skirts and like makeup and dancing, and I just stood there watching them, and I cried. I said, I don't think I'll ever be able to come to terms with who I could be. Like, not that I wanted to be on the stage and dance like them, but just to see that somebody is able to do that,
Hmm.
right? Just kind of like shook me. And I think a year from there, I went to BQFF with my own film, right? And I stood on the
Oh,
same stage and I
wow.
presented. So that's been the growth like that, right? Because I repressed myself for so long, for so many years, that when like it happened, when I saw that there is a community that like bunch of friends were nurturing, and I allowed myself to sort of let's let's put one step out now, like
N-
one more step.
Now, today,
Yeah,
when you sit here and we are talking about all of these things, when you reflect back,
yeah,
okay, 11 years back, all
yeah,
those
yeah,
things
yeah,
happened.
yeah, yeah.
How do you feel today? Like, exact moment. How do you feel?
Grateful. Yeah, like I'm really happy. Like I said, like I'm happy that I was not turned back into straight, like that wish didn't come true, because I think only because I'm queer, I was able to like I think also because I'm able to sit here because of that, right? In many ways,
Hmm.
that Maya Bazaar is one of the parts of my queer journey. Like, it's like
Right.
one of the milestones, and then these are friends who have worked in different capacities, right? And all of that has happened because I allowed myself to at some point said, you know what, it's okay. Let's just see
Hmm.
what's going to happen. What is going to happen now,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
So yeah, I like just going back to that lucky, like it just sort of stuck
Hmm.
with me. I remember when I came out, my sister said, "Oh God, he's going to have such a tough life now." Right, because and also I think she didn't know much, right? I didn't know much, and now I think she sees what I do with my films, and she came to Maya Bazaar last year. I'm sure when she sees this podcast, she'll be like, okay,
Oh my God.
not tough like that.
I
Not
have
like
I have
that.
I have been told that तुम्हारा क्या दिमाग खराब है कम प्रॉब्लम है तुम्हारे लाइफ में कि तुम लेस्बियन बनोगी
Oh my God. So, okay, when someone says that to you at that age, I think you're talking about easy when you were
No,
like.
no, I'm talking about 30.
You're a late
That's what I
bloomer.
mean. That a lot of us come out at 30 as well.
Okay.
That's the long, long years of denial.
So when someone says that to you, like as you mentioned, so how do you feel during that time? How do you feel? Like, do you start blaming yourself again? Do you
Of
start
course,
questioning
it's
yourself?
very unnerving. It's it's almost like all the things that you were thinking about, you know,
Mm.
every someone is saying that out to you. which you put it out of your mind and you said, no, that's not true. This is not true. Now, my life won't be so difficult. It'll be better in some way. Some things. You've told yourself 100 things. And then you've said, okay, now this is the time to come out. And when you do, then all those things that you'd put away in that box are being told to you by someone you fucking love. It's fucking heartbreaking, man. It can, and in, of course, in retrospect, it makes you who you are. I mean, it's not like anybody loves you lesser, or it's not like someone who told you that at that time. At least for me, the person who told me that at that time is someone I still love a lot, and they love me a lot. Um, and and they know who they are. So, but having said that, there is um, what was the question? I've been doing this a lot these
Yeah.
days, by the way.
Yeah.
So, and I think whatever you mentioned, I think with regards to that as well, I think it hurts the most when
It hurts,
it
yeah.
hurts the most when okay, someone else telling you that I think you don't even give a fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, but someone who you really love,
Yeah.
your loved ones,
Yeah.
saying you that on your face, I think it's the most
Because they
hurtful
care
thing.
about you, right? And you because they love you, they care about you, and you believe that person to watch out for you or to know what is in your best interest, right? And I mean, of course, all of us are wrong, and that's what we need to learn eventually. But it is painful. It is, and at that time when you don't have community or you don't see anyone who's like you around you, you feel like so alone in the world. Um, it can be that scary also. But then when you find community, and yeah,
I
okay, but
think
I'm
all.
not the only one like this. There are other people. They seem to have lived their lives all right.
Yeah.
I think I'll be in what it's yeah. It's been 20, 25 years now. We're
all good.
all alive. All fingers are good. All toes are good. Not too many accidents.
Chris, what about you? So you've been like any situation that you've gone through, that you've faced, the things that people might have told you.
I think for me, I um, go through this even today that um, I feel that as a woman, I'm struggling, and then as a queer person, then I'm struggling as well. In a lot of ways, like you don't get that society to look at you a certain way um, because you're unmarried or whatever that society wants you to be. You're not that, basically. So I think you lose out on a lot of things that other people may get a lot of.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I've been told it's a phase. Uh, Actually, early days, men would say, "Don't steal my girlfriend."
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I also remember like I was very excited about Bangalore Pride many years ago when I think early days, and I was telling somebody at office that I'm going for the Pride, and it was very hard to say. Like I hadn't told anyone, and this person was like, "What now? You people want your own bus now? Like, like you want your own like bus to travel in the city?" I'm like, "What?"
Oh my god.
Like the perceptions and the questions, like um,
There isn't a straight pride.
there isn't a straight pride.
Oh
I
my
mean, the whole society is your pride.
Every day is
Every
pride.
day.
so how so when someone says like you've gone like people mentioning it to you on the face, okay, so now how has it been for you over the years till now?
I think, yeah, definitely some things that they said, both of them said, like coming out to yourself is very important. I have been a community organizer for many years. Like that is something I've started doing pretty young. And this is the first time I'm doing this.
Oh, okay.
Like what I mean by this is like a public sort of
Public
uh,
talk on it.
yeah, because it's scary. It's scary today also.
So okay, like I really want to understand like all of us when you say it is scary in a little way when you talk about these things. So like what exactly do you mean by that?
So many things. Firstly, for me, I also look a certain way. So as a woman, I get followed, stared at a lot.
Oh my
The
god.
minute you know that this person is not mainstream, then you get a lot more attention, which can translate into anything, like from violence to stalking, um, fetishizing.
It's, yeah.
And
You could like, for example, I think in my younger days, what I would be scared of is somebody calling the landline, like, and saying something, like, or like, how is it going? Like, literally, for me, is still my physical safety.
you mean to say you still feel that kind of an.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
So is it with like everyone, like on a daily basis, when we talk about today, when we talk about tomorrow, do you still feel some sort of like, say, what do you say? You're a little scared, okay, of certain things, as you mentioned, like maybe.
Yeah, certain
I'm.
areas, like I would wear a jacket, for
Hmm.
example. Uh, Certain, like at off, I think only and that's also with age. Like for me, as I kept growing up, I treated my office space also differently. I used to tell my boss first,
Hmm.
like at the interview or whatever, because that for me, I needed to create some safety at the workspace. um, but before, I would never do it. I would hide it so much so that I don't get treated differently. Because you want to be treated as equal. First of all, I'm a woman.
Yes.
And I have been in companies where I've not been respected for being a woman, or my ideas or my thoughts have not been. So then you add the queerness, then you don't want to be treated badly, also, right?
Hmm.
So that changed slowly. But the physical and the fear of not getting entry to a place, let's say, or entry to your parents' home. What if they say don't come back? Like so many, like it's at every step there is a fear.
Yeah, it just feels like something is. Let's say now that we're talking about fear, right? Yeah. Now that we're talking, hi. Okay. No, this is better. I think. Yeah, I think fear. Like, I think a lot of queer people have a certain relationship with fear, right? Fear of being outed. Like even when you're out and proud and like in your safest space with your bestest of friends, right? Like when they are talking about fear, I'm also like talking about it. They're like certain people that I don't want them to know about me,
Fear on top.
right? It just feels like they see you a certain way, and then suddenly then they just take it back, and then you'll have to negotiate.
Yeah.
You have to negotiate that respect. Like suddenly, just because they know that I'm gay, probably I'll have a certain disadvantage that they'll look at me a certain way now. And I'll have to negotiate that with them. Like I have to like take that respect back. There's a lot of work that you'll have to do. Like you have to constantly. This is like you have to deserve it. You have to prove it. You have to earn it, and again, right? Like
Yeah, just for your craft,
yeah.
and then for your sexuality,
Right.
and then for your gender.
Yeah, just going on any podcast, right? Generally, right? You're just on a podcast, you're talking about your life and all of that.
Oh
But
God,
then
you
when
do that all the time, is it?
no, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying in general, when
General,
you're
like in
other
a.
people or generally people are going on a podcast talking about their lives. When queer people go on a podcast, they're coming out again.
Yeah.
So it's like
Oh
I go
Yeah,
to a
coming out never
is
stops.
is a
it
thing,
never.
and then it's
Never
like a
stops.
then you just sort of like get some thrill out of it. There's some joy out of it, but then you are coming out,
Yeah.
right?
So as we are talking, like coming out never stops. You mentioned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was in class yesterday. I'm 45. I've been teaching for 20 years. I've been out for 15. Um, it seems like I had to come out. I didn't, but it was something that um, that is a debate on in your head. It's not something that I'll just go and say in class. Like my colleague yesterday was talking about, "Nanu manek hogbitu." I go home and my husband. She's talking about her home life.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that's the hardest.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't. I giving that example. Will they get it? It's not fear for me. I can. It's a very personal thing. I think, and I don't want to say I'm completely devoid of fear, but the queer fear, um, I think I have overcome it, or something like that. I can't tell completely. I don't want something to happen tomorrow, but I'm just. But I feel like I'm not very afraid of being outed anymore. Almost, I look forward to it so that that's one thing that's out of the way, and then we can move on with our lives.
Yeah.
Definitely. Also, I think by the time you get to my age, what I've done is I've kind of created a little bubble of my own. And very, very rarely I interact with the world that's not queer, unless it's work.
And I think that bubble is important again.
I don't know if it is. I think I think, yeah, maybe it
No,
is.
for me it is. Like I've
Yeah.
also created like, see, we didn't ever talk about chosen family yet, but chosen family is something that uh, I think also there are straight people who grab onto that word and they should. But for me, that has been my saving grace. If not for those people who are friends, so called, but they're not friends, they're
They're not
family.
exact.
Oh, you
Um,
did this.
I mean, like,
Like
I
quoting
don't
it.
like saying friends,
But
but
I
then,
don't like saying family.
huh?
I don't know why that's bothering me a little bit. Okay.
No, but chosen family is something that as you are growing and growing and coming out, you do end up wanting them around you. Same way as anyone else, you want your family, your mother-in-law, father-in-law, mother, father, brother, bhabhi, whatever, all that you have, right? That you have that by blood, and you are choosing them.
Correct.
Like by choice, you are hanging out with them. Not a lot of us have that privilege of having the blood family support you in that way, right? So, chosen families become really important, like celebrating festivals together, celebrating New Year. A lot of those places where we are completely excluded. Um, Something that Veena said, I remember very early on, it was taught to us in D and I of when it became, it became the right thing to say is people, person, folks, and not genderize like he, him, she, they, whatever. Like you say they, then you include everyone.
Everyone.
And one of the examples was that you are married and you have a husband or a wife, but I don't have that privilege. So, what am I going to say? Actually, what is the words I'm going to use to describe this person? So, then partner was introduced in corporate India, which again comes from Western, but it's okay, like it's fine, it's English. But it can be, which became such a huge leap. So now if everyone says partner, you don't know the gender,
Yes.
then you just treat each other normally.
My partner, your partner.
You don't have to, it doesn't become like I am different from you or you are different from me, right? Like,
Right. Along with that, so when we're talking about these societal like things that have come across, you've gone through, so there are still a lot of people out there, okay, who still do not accept the whole community. Okay, so in simple words, if someone is ready to listen and then maybe understand few things, what are the few things you would want to tell them?
Come to Maya Bazaar.
come to Maya Bazaar.
Oh my god, that's a good one.
Like
Yeah.
just put yourself out there, take that chance,
Yeah.
and allow yourself the reality of the world that there are people out there who are not like me,
Yeah.
and just because they're not like me, I won't connect with them. That myth
Will go away.
will go away. Just walk in, eat, drink, see people, don't talk.
Yes.
Just be there.
Yes. And
Yeah,
please
if you're
talk.
not ready
I
to,
would not say
I mean,
please
no.
talk.
If you don't want to, I'm
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
if you don't want to,
I mean,
you know.
coming there itself for some people might be a big leap.
Big leap,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure.
So even if they don't talk, at least being there would be such a out of comfort zone
And I'll
for
tell you,
people.
You're sounding like come out as an ally, no?
Yeah. Come out as an ally.
So it's like my friend itself. Okay, so they told me on my face, like, Shanky, I've never been to an event like that because I've told my friends that there's Mayavada happening, so you have to be there. I'll be there. So they're like, I've never been to that event, but I really want to be there.
Yeah.
So I think that is a change of hope that I love that within my friends. There's
Yeah.
someone who never used to talk about things like this, but now they are like, okay, Shanky, I'm open to just learn about few things.
Yeah.
I don't know what will I do inside, not do inside, but I'm ready to come.
Because you'll be left behind if you don't. Honestly,
Yes.
if you ask me, why if someone is wanting to accept or whatever, what I don't know what that acceptance means. I don't know why somebody else's life is open to your acceptance per se. But if you feel like you want to accept it, I'm saying the only reason you should accept it is or you'll be left
Left
behind.
behind.
The rest of
That's
the
a
world is moving ahead very, very quickly.
that's a very strong line, Veena,
Yeah,
what you mentioned. Like
yeah,
I'm sure because everything, like when you talk about you mentioning like 11 years back, in 11 years, so many things have changed.
Right.
Okay.
yeah.
So I think in the next 10 years again, if you are not being a part of this, I think you'll be left behind, way behind, and I think people will not look at you.
You're
Right.
right.
I think the language around acceptance has also changed
Yeah,
from
yeah,
what
yeah,
how we
yeah.
used to look at it. Right. We somehow we just I think it was just like told or somebody told us that you need to be accepted by a certain number of people for you to
Hmm.
be in that space. Right. I think that relationship with what we want from people who are not queer is changing, right? I think we
Yeah.
just want people to just witness
Yeah.
life, right? And also what it does is when you allow yourself to be around queer people and then you see people who have overcome a certain conditioning of the world and have just come to their whole self, what it does to you is it also encourages you to be your whole self,
Exactly. You
right?
have no idea what you're
Yeah.
missing out on.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and then
Right?
yeah,
Any of this fluidity. That's what cishetness does. It puts you in boxes. And this is something we joke about a lot, but we say everyone is straight until they're not.
No, no, there's one more. Even spaghetti is straight until it's wet.
Yeah.
That's a high five.
So I mean, the point is, I'm not talking about sex alone. I'm not talking about any of these markers per se. I'm just saying. I mean, look up the dictionary word for queer. It just what it means is different. It means weird. It means different. I mean, if I'm if you're just missing out on a lot of
Lot of
color,
fun.
on a lot of fun, on a lot of perspectives and ideas.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and camaraderie and friendship
Friendship,
and
yeah,
you're
different
just
ways of lives that a lot of people who are not queer who see my life. I'm 45. I have two children. I have twins, a boy girl twins. Um, and they're three, so I don't know when they'll see this and they'll understand what I'm saying. But I live with a partner. If you want to call them, I mean, and we're a partnering troop of four of us, which includes a cis man. And none of them are here, by the way. This is my personal home, if you want to call it that. And this is a six-member friend
Family.
group that lives together, and we watch out for each other. Okay, that's one way to look at it. We're four adults taking care of two children. They're adopted babies. Um, that is one side of it. Now look at us. The way that we share our lives, we are there
Absolutely.
for each other no matter what. Kritika goes out tomorrow to for vacation. She'll call someone from the community to come and cat sit her house, right? And we'll hang out with her cats. We love the cats. There's trust there. Mujir has a story idea he has to throw at someone. I mean, we used to write together before. He doesn't even call me anymore. He's found other queer people. There's
I'm self-sufficient now.
no, you're not.
I still live with my parents.
No, you also need queer perspectives. No, you need
Always.
perspectives. You
Yeah.
are that kind of a writer
No,
also.
correct. Also, as a see, when I'm writing stories, right, queer spaces, I can write about gay men. Right, when I'm writing characters who are lesbians, right, I need perspective. That's when, like even in the musical, I think there were like two scenes that I just sent it to her. I'm like, what do I do with this now? Right, this is what I want to do. Can you just bring in a certain perspective, right?
So what I was trying to say was what you're missing out is on this very unique sense of growing up, growing old together, which I think as queer people we are in some ways setting the blueprint for, because
Absolutely.
there isn't
Absolutely.
one. There isn't a Okay, I can't say there isn't one. There isn't a clear one.
Clear one.
And I think as
not
more of us live
longer lives.
affirmative, yeah, assert our identities in whatever way it is, and we live our lives, and not to just fall for what is given to us,
Given
who's taking a stand, no matter what it is, people have told you all the time, you don't look good on camera, fine, tomorrow pick up a camera and
and start
and
shooting.
start, and let's see where that goes, because you've always felt that you were great on camera. Because I'll tell you what, this nonsense of you're not good on camera is utter nonsense. I'll tell you what, or you're not good looking, this is bullshit. You know why? The more you see someone, the more you end up liking them.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is
Yes.
no way out of that. So even the looks that we are being told, it's all, when fucking Nikon made, cameras in the first time, they made cameras for white
White people.
skin with a certain kind of exposure and certain kind of, whatever, to make them
The
look a
technology
certain way.
basically.
That's not at all the true concept of whatever beauty means. Beauty to me is I'm not talking about it being internal, external, nothing. It's just what you see.
You see.
When you see it more, when you interact with it more, when you spend time with and I promise you, you spend time enough with anyone, it's very hard to not like people. People are generally lovable. Of course, they may have silly ideas and other things, but generally at the heart of it, people are lovable.
No, I think what two points that I want to make. One is, um, it's nice that you're constantly asking for the viewers, and that is something as community organizer. I know that a lot of young people who are coming out today are like, "Am I going to die alone?
Yeah.
Am I not going to have a partner? Forget about partner. Like, who is going to be with me when I'm old? Because my family won't. I know they might have not come out yet, but my family is not going to accept me. I'm sure of it. My friends are all straight around me, and they'll probably get married and go off. So what about me? That's
And
also
see,
because there are not enough of us that they're seeing.
but also that the way the world comes together
Yeah,
to
so that was
keep a cishet relationship together,
they don't come for us.
they
So
don't
that was the
come that way
second
for
part
us.
of
Yeah.
that. It's that it's not that their fear is wrong. Yes, one part is that they have not seen maybe community and older queer people. The other part is how the world talks about
Talks about the
queerness. That it's bad.
It's lonely.
You're going to die with
Yeah.
cats. You're going to be
Oh my God.
alone, and the cat is going to eat your dead body.
Oh God, yeah.
You can see happy people sitting right in front of
Yes,
me.
yes, yes.
So
Yeah,
there's no better example than this.
No, but that's the thing, right? And it's not, it's so easy when you're still figuring it out and people are telling you that this is shit. It's so easy for you to be like, no, 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 I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
So I think for me, um, this villainizing queer people is the problem. And if you come and hang out with us, we're just like anyone
I
else.
know.
We have, we also don't go to gym. We also don't.
Oh my God.
we pay for gym membership and don't go.
Why did you mention don't go to gym? I think we all are in the same boat.
No, he's the only one who goes.
No, don't get there.
But like what I mean is like it's so we are not different species or something.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like we
Yes.
have the same heartbreaks, same happiness, same whatever,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
we can disagree also, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean we have to hate each other.
Yes, yes.
But we have seen, I think we have a certain perspective to life. We have seen a certain kind of a life because we were constantly told that this is not for you. So what we did was we had to go out and make our own references,
Yeah.
like make our own blueprints, and that exists, right? This is one
Yeah,
kind.
my dream is to have that old age home for us.
Oh, you've come to old age home.
Already,
I
you're
thought
like-
you wanted to go to
Because
an
I'm the one who's
island.
going to be pushing your wheelchair. I'm the youngest. who will do it?
I thought
No,
you said okay.
That's a secret.
Okay.
But
Okay, there's something else as well cooking behind it.
No, we can't talk about that publicly. No, but what I mean is like so much of whatever we are saying is also part of mainstream life.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that my dad or whatever didn't imagine, growing old with his brothers, let's say, or his friends, like traveling together? Like it's the same thing, right? I'm also saying,
Yes.
like I'm not trying to separate our, what do you say, existences. But the more people push us out and not include us, the more we will go away. The more we will
We'll go away, we'll make nicer places where you will not be allowed.
yeah, then how will you feel? You know?
So that is right now.
That's why just come to Maya
Yes,
Bazaar.
everyone is allowed.
Yeah, everybody is allowed.
Shameless.
Dogs are allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Babies are allowed.
Cats are allowed also. Cats
If
also
they come,
came.
please bring them. Cats, if they come, no worries.
So
But without the shameless plug-in, and that is what Maya Bazaar is. Like, we are definitely still learning. I want to put that caveat out there.
yes.
We are learning, we are figuring stuff out. Every year we make a change, big change, not tiny change.
Tiny
Every
change.
year we make a change from feedback that we're getting from people. And the space we want to create is that where you can talk to each other,
Hmm.
disagree with each other. Please disagree. That's how we grow. But respectfully and
Healthy
with
in a
grace.
healthy way,
Yeah,
basically.
Like,
Mm.
do it with grace, being like, okay, I don't agree with you, but let's
okay.
have this pani puri together.
Yeah.
you know
So Maya Bazaar is that space for you guys. So
Time, like date and time and space again.
yes. So again, yeah.
28th and
Just to
29th of
so
September.
just to shorten up the whole conversation. So this space is again for every one of you. Like, no matter you are straight, you are from the community, doesn't matter at all. Okay, we welcome all of you here. The event is happening on 28th and 29th of September again. And please get your cats, your dogs, anyone you want to this event. And I am sure, come with an open mind. Okay, don't expect anything. Just come with an open mind. You're going to meet people, you're going to just have a good time. And after 2 days, I think you can just comment on this video that how did you feel. Okay,
yeah,
so
that's a great
It's a
idea.
yeah.
okay, so I think we are almost done with the episode. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, so
Thank
much
you.
for coming and just lighting up the space.
Thank you.
And I'm so happy that there were so good, positive conversations happening today. And even after watching this one episode, if there's someone out there sitting out there, just takes one step forward, I think that will be a big change for all of us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay,
And thank you for having us
Thank
here,
you very
Shanky.
much
Yeah,
for having
thank
us,
you.
Shanky.
awesome, perfect.
Really lovely to be here, and your questions were very thoughtful. And thank you.
Thank you. See
Thanks
you
for
guys.
making space
Thank
for
you,
us.
Shanky.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No,
Yeah.
and for that,
Yeah.
thank you for speaking. Thank you for making space for us. I would say that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Finally.
Yeah.
Maya Bazaar plug in again.
Okay. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
We end with
Yes.
this. I hope you enjoyed this episode and I hope that you're taking a lot of learnings from this episode. If you have any questions, anything in your mind, don't forget to comment below because we are going to answer all your questions. Also, if you haven't been following me on Instagram, the ID goes as the backstory on Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe and like and share this video because we will be coming up with such amazing content in the future. Keep watching, keep loving us. Thank you.